Hi there, glad to have you in this library tutorial. My name is Hui Hui and I'll be talking about OCR and a couple of points to watch out for if you are using historical newspapers databases. These can include the Burning Newspapers Collection, Times Digital Archive, and ProQuest Historical Newspapers. This also includes the digitized Historical Newspapers Collection in UFE's Institutional Repository Harvester. We'll also go over a few strategies to help you find more articles. We'll be using examples from the Burning Newspapers collection in this tutorial. Before we start, this tutorial assumes that you are able to do a database search on your own. For more information on accessing and using the Burning Newspapers collection or any other databases, please visit UFE's media space for more instructional videos. Let's get started. OCR stands for Optical Character Recognition. This is where a character recognition software scans over an image that contains typed or written text. The software renders image of text into machine-encoded transcript. Keyword searches in databases such as the Burning Collection or Times Digital Archive depend on OCR technology. However, it's not perfect. On the left, you see the first two lines read an account of the province of Canada in America. On the right, you'll see that the OCR rendering doesn't make sense. I have another example here. On the left is the original image of the newsprint. Notice the words underlined in red have ornate S's that look like F's. On the right is the encoded OCR rendering where the S's that look like F's are rendered as F's. With these older articles, if your search terms or subject of your search contain the letter S in the middle of the word, you might not be able to retrieve these articles. Keeping in mind that the ornate S's will sometimes be rendered as F's by OCR software, I'm going to do another search. This time I'll play with the spelling to see if it changes the number of results. I'll do a search for the defense trial of the French king during the French Revolution, and I have limited my date range from the beginning of the trial, which was early December 1792, to end of January 1793, because by then I know that he was already executed. And I'm going to scroll up a little bit. So in the very first search box, I have different ways of expressing the King of France at this time. And in the second search box, I have defense spelled properly. I'm going to click search. And here I have two results. So that's revised search, and I'm going to put in or, and this time I'm going to put in defense by replacing the S with an F and see if I get more. And now I have 10 results. If the newsprint image has a lot of background noise or if the print is blurry, the OCR software may not be able to render the image into text at all. Here is an example of a very blurry screen capture of a Globe and Mail page from ProQuest Historical Newspapers. We also have an example in the Burning Newspapers collection where the OCR transcript is not available, possibly because the image itself is blurry. Some chunks of text appear to be italicized. These may all contribute to the fact that the OCR software is unable to render the image into text. I know that this newspaper contains information on the defense trial of the French king. However, because OCR is unable to render this image, it means that I won't be able to retrieve this article by simply doing a database search. This means that you cannot purely rely on keyword search to find all the articles on a given topic. Sometimes it is necessary to browse a given publication limited by date and scan the whole paper to make sure you haven't missed anything. So what can we do to find these articles where the transcripts are not available or the text is not rendered correctly? We can think of synonyms for the concept you are trying to capture. I use the word defense to show how ornate characters can be rendered incorrectly. But if I were to search for articles on this topic, I would try to think of other synonyms that capture the same concept. For example, Here is a screen capture of my new search. The first search box is the same, but in the second search box, I have added counsel or trial, and I kept defense as well as defense spelled with an F instead of an S. We can also browse adjacent issues of the newspaper or magazines. Since putting a monarch on trial and eventually executing him is a significant event, it makes sense for a news publication to provide reporting of the event until the news eventually dies down. Therefore, it's a good idea to not just stop at the article you find through keyword search. It's also a good idea to look at the previous and subsequent issues of the publication to follow along with the coverage. This is similar to flipping through physical newspapers in an archive, except in this case, you don't need to physically go to the British Library. Using my previous article as an example, I can go to the previous issue and this takes me back to December 1792. So the one that I started off with was in January 1793. And I can flip through this paper to see if there's anything on the trial of the king. So here it appears that there is something on Louis XVI and his trial. I can also click on the title of the newspaper here, and by doing that, I can browse through the year and issues within that particular year. We can also follow citation trail. I'm going to change my topic to the trial and execution of King Charles I. Here is an article on the trial and execution of King Charles I. As I read this, I'm going to pay attention to the citation. On page 293, I notice mention of the news editorial, and I'll follow the footnote. If the information is relevant, I can look it up. Let's give this a try. I'm going to try to look up that particular periodical. So I'm back in my Bernie newspapers collection. And instead of searching on the left-hand side with the advanced search, I'm going to go to the right because I am following citation trail and I'm trying to look for a publication and a particular issue. So I'm going to click on Browse. And here I can search by publication and click search. And from this point on, I'm looking for the 1648 copy. So I'm going to click on 1647, hoping that I can find 1648 there as well. And I'm going to use this drop-down menu to select 1648. And here I can choose the issue. So I'm looking for December 1648 issue 39. And here is the publication. So that's sum up. If you think you are not finding enough articles because the topic isn't captured by OCR, try thinking of different ways of expressing your topic. You can also look at the previous and subsequent issues of a news article you found and follow the citation trail of scholarly books and journal articles that have referenced historical newspapers or other types of primary sources. This is all I have for now. Thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you need more help, please don't hesitate to contact your liaison librarian or visit the library's website. Thank you. Bye for now.